We're back with the mock drafts. Uh, do we think we have a better idea of how we're going to do this now? Because I feel like in the years past we've been okay, and in some drafts we've been really bad at.
I am prepared to make every team's decision to fix them for the next year.
Welcome back to the James and Name Show. I'm Josiah,
And I'm Will.
and today we're going over our first mock draft of the 2026 NFL Draft. I have to make sure I'm saying the right words here. Um, so if you've watched our channel in years past, we've been making a bunch of random mock drafts, sometimes with a little bit of variety to them. I think Will and I both agree that doing a simple one right out of the gate is pretty good to start with to like ease into the whole process, really.
hmm
But yeah, we are back with these mock drafts.
Like Josiah mentioned, this is going to be kind of our most regular. We're gonna work together, try to make the best mock draft that we can as a team, working together on each and every pick. So we'll go through. We won't have
Yippee-ki-yay.
Well, there will be no trades. It's just gonna be by the book. All right. Number one, the Las Vegas Raiders been on the clock since January.
Yeah,
Um,
pretty much.
this this is no surprise. Everyone kind of knows what this is gonna be. Um, where it's gonna be Fernando Mendoza. Team needs a quarterback. You go out get a quarterback or a offensive minded head coach. Team needs so much rework, but you clean house. You don't really have like a veteran or anything. It's just let's go get the quarterback to build this team. I don't.
He's a fresh start.
It is a fresh start, and I think this has been kind of consensus across the board, and we've all known what this is going to be for quite some time, and no point in dancing around it. It's going to be Fernando Mendoza, and this is where things just get chaotic. Uh,
No one
Jets
knows what's going on here.
Jets at two. We're gonna see them. They have a few needs. Wide receiver, their wide receiver room is pretty much just Garrett Wilson. They
Yeah,
they could work on their
they
interior O line. They've gone out and gotten tackles the last 2 years. Um,
really anything. No.
Quarterback, big. I mean, you have Gino now, but that's not really a long term solution. They have a lot of
We're
things they
waiting for
could.
next year.
I mean, we'll see. That is something that can change down the board as well. It doesn't have to be. There's not a quarterback ready to be taken at number two. There's not a guy with that kind of value.
No,
But Jets have
not this draft.
Jets have a lot of holes though. A lot of people actually have them going something along the defense. I mean, again, it gets iffy. A lot of people like looking at this and saying edge. I don't hate. I think that's a really good place to start. They don't have that major game changer, and there's a few guys here. If you look at defense, there's a few guys here who can be that. I think
Oh,
it.
easily, yeah.
I think the three guys. If you're the Jets, it comes down to Bailey, Bain, Reese, maybe Styles or Downs, but I don't think those guys are quite what the Jets are looking for here. I think it's going to come down to one of those edge rushers. Arvel Reese actually has that very nice versatility of he plays off ball and kind of edge. He's kind of viewed as that versatile edge who can play off ball.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Personally, I I don't think Ruben Bain goes. I kind of see Ruben Bain falling. He's been someone who's been very highly. He's been mocked top 10, often viewed top 5. At number 2 though, I think it's going to come down to Bailey, who showed up at the combine. People loved his 40 time, and just the way he ran because he's real fast. Uh, a little bit on the slimmer side, and then there's Arvel Reese, who isn't refined as an edge, but has so much potential as an edge.
I think for me, really, I kind of like David Bailey going to the Jets. I don't know
Interesting.
why. I kind of like him there. Maybe that's just me being kind of like, oh yeah, Texas Tech actually has some good players, and
I mean, that is true.
I
Um,
mean, like you got to give them product props, props to that
I
because
I will say, as far as like the first true edge off the board, I do think is going to be David Bailey, Arvel Reese again covering that like versatile role. Um, I just don't think Bane has some concerns with him that might have him drop. Mostly his arm length
yeah,
is kind of the thing that
it,
he gets knocked on, but I think
it was really just
Bailey
the arm length.
it mostly is the arm length. That's kind of what the main buzz is. Bailey again, he's got that speed, but he doesn't quite have. He's not as good, at least stopping the run, as Ruben Bain is. Um, he's a little bit lighter at 251, and obviously Reese is also a little bit smaller, but that's because he's basically a linebacker who can rush off the
Yeah,
edge. I can see it going back and forth between Bailey and Reese. I've seen a lot of Reese, but I could also there is a world where I definitely can see Bailey being. I think Bailey's the only guy who could go at number 2 that isn't Arvel Reese.
yeah, I do
So,
agree with that.
but yeah. So what do we think here? Reese or Bailey?
I'm thinking Bailey.
We're going Bailey, spicing
Yep.
it up a little bit. We go David Bailey. Number
All
3,
right,
we
so
have the
Cardinals.
Cardinals. They have a lot of people have them mocking a lineman. They have needs. They
Yeah, they
could
do.
go after a receiver. They could go. The To me, they also could go edge, but
Yeah, they could. Don't really have to.
they don't have to. That is for sure. They don't have to. Um, I think. Ooh, this is an interesting thing though. I don't think I've seen so many mock drafts of Reese going number 2 that I don't even know what happens to him if he doesn't go number 2. But in obviously again we go David Bailey here. I think there is a slight need for edge, but Cardinals need a right tackle. They have Paris
Yes.
Johnson on the left side, and uh, I think it could be. I think in this situation, this can be one of 3 guys for the Cardinals, and at right tackle, the best right tackle in the class by consensus, pretty much across the board, is most people look at it as Francis Mauanoa. And admittedly, yeah, I think he's a very highly touted prospect. I do have some concerns watching his film um, with the like his use of his hands. He doesn't quite have the movement skills of some other guys like Spencer
No,
Fano, but
I wouldn't say he's not raw, but he's a little undefined on that front, and I think he can definitely get to that point.
mhm,
I'm just mostly concerned about, you know,
to me he carries so much power compared to someone like Fano who is the other like top tackle, at least right tackle in the class. I think he's the clear tackle for them. The question is with Reese there, and spoiler alert, I love Jeremiah Love there at 3. Those are the 3 guys I see potentially going.
I understand Jeremiah Love getting up this high for Arizona, but I think their core issue is really just their tackles. And I think because there's only so many tackles in the draft that are really good at this point, kind of just go for them.
Yeah, I mean, go out and
Like,
get.
that's how I'm viewing this because I've looked at the options for these guys, and the Cardinals just really need in like a line.
I like us going with a tackle, and I do think Maui Noah is kind of the guy for them here. All right, Maui Noah at 3. We move on to the Titans.
Mm,
Titans,
Titans,
they made a
they're
lot of
exciting.
they made a lot of moves to improve, and they brought in pieces on the edge. Um,
Hmm.
they went out and got Jermaine Johnson through the trade. But they lose Arden Key, bring in corners, bring in interior guys, bring in a receiver in Wandale Robinson. Um, it sets them up pretty nicely for
Yep.
sure. Uh, it allows them to kind of just get the guy. A receiver one is still very an option because again, it's Wandale Robinson, Calvin Ridley, and Elick Ayunamor.
I think right now, at least for the Titans, I think they're more worried about weapons, and that's where I'm kind of focusing on with these guys. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Love right there. You have
Yeah,
options.
admit.
Like it just kind of depends on what they value more at this point. Um,
Mhm.
I think Carnell Tate going to the Titans seems better
I
and worse at the
so
same time, but I
the
don't know.
admittedly, I think their wide receiver room is in worse shape than the running back room. Because they still
Yeah,
have Tony Pollard, Ty Spears, but the difference between I think Jeremiah Love truly is, if not the best player in the draft, the second best player in the draft. I think if it's any weapon to help Cam Ward in his second year under a new offensive coordinator, new head coach, I think Jeremiah Love is that guy.
maybe
Jeremiah Love,
maybe for this one we just let them take Love.
let
I
him
like
take a
that.
look.
I like that idea.
I think
Let them
Love,
take Love.
I think Love provides a support role for Cam Ward. You get to lean on him. You don't have to ask so much of Cam Ward. Plus, he's a great weapon out of the backfield, even in the slot
Hmm.
potentially.
Even the slot, yeah, he's really good.
He provides.
No,
He's kind of like a jack of all trades that you have in the backfield that just takes so much pressure off of Cam Ward. So I love that pick for the Titans. Although again, if you have Alvaro Reese there, it would be hard to move past that as well. But I love him at 4. Looking at 5 though with the Giants here.
so this is a team that I think goes either Reese or Tate.
I can see them. Receiver makes a lot of sense. They also do have a strong need for linebacker. My and I do love Reese because he has that versatility. I like what he can do. My only concern, I don't know how much the Giants have room to even capitalize off. Like, they're not a team that is necessarily best player available because they have a deep edge room. You have Abdul Carter, you
Oh
have
yeah.
Brian Burns, and you have Kayvon Thibodeau still. Personally, I kind of have their wheelhouse here looking more at like Tate, Styles, Downs, Tyson.
Maybe on offense they're not as in need, but like they would love another receiver, obviously.
Yeah, I
But
mean, they're pretty much down to Malik Neighbors, Darnell Mooney, Darius Slayton's there, and you have Calvin Austin, Jalen Hyatt's
mhm.
still there, but uh
Honestly, Caleb Downs does not sound like a bad option here.
Caleb Downs would be he would be. I think he makes a good strong safety, a real good box safety. And that is kind of a need for them where they've not quite found that safety for them. Um and they did go out and pick up Tremaine Edmonds as a linebacker, so that might not be as big of a need. Would it still needs a complement alongside him, but I definitely can see Caleb Downs as a Giant. I think he might slip down the board a little bit, but if you're feeling it, we can go Caleb Downs
Yeah.
here.
I mean, with no trades and everything, might as well keep it going.
All right, Caleb Downs at 5. Interesting. Browns are one of
So
two
yeah,
things.
yes,
They're receiver or they are a tackle, and they have two first round picks
there's
as well. So it's who do you
they
take
do, they do.
first?
I
Uh,
mean, if Cardinal Tate is still there, they take him.
you think they go Tate it? So for starters, you think receiver over tackle
Yeah,
here
I
at
think
first.
receiver.
Now the
Yeah,
question is,
because there's only so many tackles in this draft, so that's why I'm saying in this case it would be
mm-hmm,
Cardinal Tate.
mm-hmm, that's fair. So being a receiver, yes. The question is which one is it? Because the top 3 receivers on everybody's board right now are Tate, Tyson, and Lemon.
My gut tells me that the Browns would probably take Tyson in this position because that's just the Browns. But if they were going to be smart, they would take Tate. So
So you think Tate is going to be the move here?
if they were smart, I would pick Tate, and I think that's what they'll choose here.
I think I agree with that. I do think the Browns probably lean a little more towards Tate in this situation,
That we know of.
as much as I question the Browns organization. Moving on to the Commanders at 7. I think I really they did go out and get an edge.
They did.
They
They don't have
did
to worry about that
well. I don't know if I'd say that they
as
don't
much.
have to worry about it.
As much.
They got
As much. I should clarify there. As much.
they have one edge in Owe. They have Odafe Owe on one side. I don't know that they went out and got Caleb on Chase on as
Yes.
their, and he's
Yes.
admittedly gotten better over the years. He had a pretty good year with the Patriots. But oh, like the Commanders are sitting here, and you have Arvell Reese and Ruben Bain here. Yeah, the receiver room is
I think
really, really weak, but they
you don't pass up on Reese and Bain here, though.
and there's so many guys down the board. Well, it's like, yeah, the top 3 guys are like that top tier, but there's so many viable weapons down the board. Receiver is a pretty deep position in this class. I've
You
seen
think they go Bain here?
I've seen a lot of Bane. I have concerns with Bane about his, obviously his length, but also he doesn't show he's such a powerhouse. He's got so much strength, but he lacks a little bit of the maneuverability that I would want to see out of an edge. And I think he did really. There are reps you see looking at his tape where he plays a little bit more inside, and I think he's got that ability to move around on the inside as well. Well as like you look at Reese, he's kind of that. He's purely raw as an edge rusher. He's got great spy potential. He's not he's not a perfect linebacker. He's not a perfect edge, but he's got the skill set and the potential to be great at. I think the NFL views it more as an edge. I think I find it so hard to say though that they'll pass on Reese if he's still here because I think so
Yeah.
many I think so many teams view Arvell Reese as 1 or 2 in the class
Mm-hmm.
that,
I do agree.
like if Bane, most likely the situation is Reese isn't going to be there. So I think Bane would be the more go-to pick, but I think Reese here at 7, I think is an
You take him.
yeah, I think it's an absolute steal. So I'm gonna go with Reese here. I think that's the
All right.
I think that's the move if he's there, and Commanders fans are just so happy. Um, Saints at 8.
We are. Yeah. Is the Saints just? I mean, really anything. I mean,
They could
besides
go a lot of
running
things.
back.
I think Ruben
I mean,
Bain.
Bane is just still. Yeah, as I was gonna say, Bane's still sitting there, so I'm picking Bane.
I've taken Bain. I'm that's actually the direction I was gonna lean anyways. They lost a few pieces. They got a lot of weaknesses. Still, they're a young team that's trying to grow, but I think Bane is going to help shore up that defense, at least the defensive line. They still got quite a few holes, but I think Ruben Bane is the pick for them if he's still there. You could see him fall a little bit further, but I like him at 8 there, with how this board has fallen. And that leaves the Chiefs in kind of a pickle. I still view their top two needs as tackle and receiver.
I kind of
think
like Delane going to the Chiefs right here.
Delane.
That's what I'm looking at.
Although I will say, Fano. Fano could fall, but Fano,
He could fall.
he is a right side guy, but he's also viewed as someone who could play literally any position along the O line, which could be really helpful in protecting Mahomes. But for the sake of it, you like corner and top two corners. The way I view it is Delane and McCoy. Do you take the risk on Jermod McCoy, or is it Mansour Delane here for the Chiefs?
I don't know. Delane right now, I just don't see enough of McCoy. I have to look more at his film, but with a scary injury like that, I don't know.
Mansour Delane it is here at 9. Bengals come on at 10. We had
look, anything on defense.
Anything on defense, true. We had talked. Oh, geez, this just seems unfair. I've already seen it. We talked about the Bengals, in the free agency recap, being a team who, made good moves in free agency, but was it enough? Because the guys they got were good, but it
wasn't enough.
Yeah, it was a few moves, good moves for the worst defense in the NFL last year. I do think they still need to make a move and get a guy here on defense. Yeah, you could still bolster up the O-line, which isn't completely secure, but
no, not really.
The way this has fallen, Sonny Styles at 10 is an absolute steal. An absolute steal. How do you not take that if you're drooling at the mouth if you're the Bengals?
Yeah, just take this guy.
He's
right there. Just take him.
He's shown really good tape, but what's driving him up the board so much is just how he showed up at the combine. He's one of those guys who's shown up massively at the combine. Miami Dolphins had just shipped everyone off. Everyone's gone. They said, let's just start over. I think it's best position, or best player available here.
That's kind of how I'm viewing this right now.
And if you're the Dolphins, it was not good. Especially you see Mansour Delane, Sonny Styles, and some of these Ruben, like all of these edges that felt like so many good guys just fell in front of you, and then you miss them. Again, another team picking twice. I mean, although you're picking twice in the first round, it probably actually could wait for a receiver. So I'll switch it up and
You want to take a tackle here?
I was almost thinking Jermod McCoy, a desperate team looking to take a shot.
Well,
a desperate franchise trying to
for anything
to try and make really a score. The 2024 tape is real good. That's for sure. So McCoy, I think McCoy would make a lot of sense here, which actually it really screws over the Cowboys here, who really, really could have used a corner. And now you're in a place where you're kind of looking at a reach. Again, yet another team picking twice in the first round. The trades this year have been crazy. But no, I think defense is inevitably, with how this board falls, where they land still. They just can't quite get maybe the corner they wanted. Thieneman, though, did test really well at the combine. I think he does provide a lot of promise for a team, and I think he could, a team that really needs a safety. I think he actually could end up being the best safety in the class. Um, ran a 4.35. He's wicked quick. He shows great like single high potential in coverage. Um, kind of like a true free safety kind of vibe. And they went out and got Jalen Thompson. They also got PJ Locke, but you were working with Malik Hooker before. I think Dylan Thieneman is an absolute upgrade.
Yeah, I would work with Ian there. He's got a lot of talent there. Wonders for that defense. I mean, like you said, they're only better than the Bengals defense. So
Yeah, like
literally what it was. So
they're
anything on defense is a real improvement.
yeah, they're a very similar boat. So Thieneman, I think their secondary is what needs a lot of help, and so that'll be good for them. Rams,
Oh, okay. Here we go. um, for me,
it could be so many things,
I
and
mean,
they're so.
you you got a bunch of corners through free agency.
Mhm.
You got what is it? Still have a great receiver core. Quarterback, you're fine with. Running back, okay.
I think for the Rams, you're looking at what pick is going to be the pick that gets us to the Super Bowl this year. That is like, what is the game changing? Not even like game changing. They have such a strong unit already that it's unfair for them to be picking at 13. Yet here they are.
Yes.
Again, you mentioned
Um,
they got Trent McDuffie, they got Jalen Watson. You still have Emmanuel Forbes. Your safeties are pretty strong. They could have gone Thieneman. I think he would have been worthy of a pick there. But obviously you see him go 12. It's just who's gonna be. It's just gonna be who can play right away. You're not looking necessarily long term. They could
no.
admittedly go for a tackle and provide a little
Like
bit more longevity, but I'm gonna be real honest. I like this. This seems so unfair. I like them going a receiver here, and they don't really need it, but
it's
Makai Lemon in the slot would
ooh.
be
Okay, well, now I think that's cheating at this point.
with
Um,
like sure you could also go Tyson, but I think Makai Lemon, you don't have the injury concerns. You just need someone who's going to be able to come in and make an impact. And I think he has the ability to make an impact. I love Lemon as a slot guy, and I think he would fit real well with this team that already has a great one too. Why not add a three
oh
in the
yeah,
slot with Lemon?
might as well while you're at it. So, I mean,
Yeah,
Lemon going to the Rams just seems unfair at this point because the Rams are already bolstered up on all fronts.
yeah.
They're ready for a Super Bowl run.
It's who comes in and makes an immediate impact to give them the extra edge, a little extra push for the Super Bowl. I think Makai Lemon, he doesn't have to sit behind anyone. He can come in and play in the slot off the bat. I like. I mean, it's unfair, but I like it for them. 14, Baltimore Ravens. This could be so many things. They lost so many pieces to free agency. They had so many issues last year.
Honestly, anything with guard,
Guard, yeah.
like a guard, a lineman,
Yeah.
offensive defense, yeah. But I think you guys need to work on your interior first before you get a receiver, especially if you have like picks later down the board, like in second round or something. Like there's still good wide receivers and stuff later on, but I think you just need to focus more on fixing
Mhm,
the line that you've kind of lost.
for sure. And again, there's not really replacing Tyler Linderbaum, but
No, you
finding
cannot.
someone to step in that role. Um, I think the Ravens are a team. I think they find. I mean, again, it's a new regime with Minter there, but I think honestly, I see them going out and just getting someone who's the best at their position, and that's Ioane. Even though it's not as a highly valued position, he is for sure a big improvement. And again, there's a lot of need on the interior. Buccaneers at 15.
Yeah. This one I think you've kind of looked towards Falk here or Woods.
Folk,
But like Falk might fit that scheme better.
I think I've heard this take, and I think it's very reasonable. Is that Todd Bowles needs to save his job, and he needs
Oh yeah,
a not just
does.
an edge rusher, a pass rusher. And there's one guy on here who has been deemed just like a pure pass rusher, not really viable in the run game,
Mm-hmm.
just a pure pass rusher. And it's actually not Keldrick Falk, who's actually really good at in the run game, and he's a really talented young tackle or young talent. But I think it actually what makes a lot of sense, at least at this point to me, is Akeem Mesidor. Uh, he rushed opposite of Ruben Bain. Again, he doesn't quite have the run stopping abilities, but he excelled as a pass rusher, and I think that's something that is lacking in Tampa Bay. I think they're looking, especially again, Todd Bowles needs to find a way to save his job. Um, if Jordan Tyson's there, is that maybe an avenue for him to do that? Sure, but I think Mesidor. I liked Mesidor. That's a comp that I've liked for the Buccaneers quite a bit. Jets at 16. We had him go David Bailey first.
Yes, we did have him go with Bailey.
Now,
I mean, Tyson's still sitting there, I guess.
Tyson is sitting there. They don't need a tackle because they've doubled up on tackles.
No, they don't need a tackle. Yeah, they don't need tackles. He is just sitting there.
Tyson is sitting there.
Just saying.
I am eyeing one potential other move. I think I would say Tyson makes the most sense. Yeah. But their starting quarterback is Geno Smith. Could the Jets be a team that reach for Ty Simpson, who isn't, I don't think, a first round talent quarterback, but he's the only quarterback after Fernando Mendoza who is potentially a starting caliber quarterback in the NFL, at least how he's viewed, a starting caliber quarterback. Maybe after a few weeks, you give him half the season.
Maybe.
But I think Ty Simpson is going to be someone who, we're not using trades, but I think someone will trade up for Ty Simpson into the first. And again, without trades, it's a little early, and because without trades, he might not. I think it's...
Yeah.
But I think it's 16. Again, they're still going to be top of the second.
True.
But I think with this board, it's Tyson, or you potentially look... I think it's Tyson, maybe Sadiq. Again, he is a wild card to go anywhere because of his freak athleticism. Or it's going to be Ty Simpson.
I mean, the Jets are the Jets, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did pick up Simpson here.
You either reach on a quarterback or you take the injury riddled receiver.
I think you reach on a quarterback here.
You think they go Ty Simpson here?
Maybe. I mean, knowing the Jets, they probably do.
Are we going Ty Simpson? We're going Ty Simpson.
Screw it, might as well.
We go Ty Simpson. Jets take Ty Simpson at 16, which I don't think is impossible.
Yeah. It's not impossible, but the Jets are desperate.
It's really high. Lions desperately need linemen, particularly left tackle. It's between Freeling and Lomu, and I think Freeling's the top left tackle for them. I think it's just the top left tackle for most people. You didn't see a lot of pass protection snaps because he played at Georgia, who just heavily relied on the run. A lot of stuff yet to be seen and a lot of room still to grow, but I like his movement abilities, and I think he also shows some real solid strength, and I think he's got probably the most upside of the two. Reeling it is Vikings, a team who I really loved Thieneman for them, but obviously went way higher.
Yeah, well, he's not there
Yeah,
anymore.
he's not there.
Um,
I feel like secondary is such a strong need. I don't think they're a team looking at linemen.
not really. They're looking more for corners and safeties right now.
I think that secondary is their biggest hole. It is, you look at someone like Terrell, it's reaching down a little bit further.
Terrell's kind of like that one player that I can think.
I
At
mean,
least of the ones I see, that's probably the one that I can think I can go there.
they have him way down here, but I think Terrell is very possible to go in. It is very possible for him to go in this range, but I think Emmanuel McNeil Warren is
Yeah, I forgot about
another
him.
potential. They ran Pro Football Network has him rated really low, but I think he's probably gonna go in the 20s somewhere. So him even sneaking up at 18 for a safety needy team would also not be a shock. So to me,
No,
it's
it
between
really
McNeil
wouldn't.
Warren and Avion Terrell.
Terrell. Well, I do agree that the Vikings definitely need a safety more than they do need a corner. So maybe they stick with
McNeil Warren.
Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Yeah. So
I mean,
I'm stuck with McNeil Warren. So
he's from Toledo, but we've also seen Toledo produce pretty good secondary. Just ask the Eagles. Move on to
now
the
we have the Panthers.
Panthers. Interesting team.
This is where I think they build their O line a little bit more.
I think they
Does
definitely
it
could
feel
use
like it?
some O line. I think
Mm-hmm.
team with the gets the highest upside out of a move. I like Sadiq here. But I think
Sadiq on the Panthers works pretty well.
yeah, I mean they've picked they they have so many young tight ends, but I think Sadiq is on that level of like a
He's a
very
step above.
legitimate game changer at tight end versus kind of a role player. So
yeah,
Sadiq
we'll let the Panthers get Sadiq here.
Sadiq at 19 to bolster.
All right.
Give Bryce Young a reliable pass option. Oh, Cowboys are back on the clock, and
Oh boy.
Probably a double dip on defense. Frankly,
yeah, pretty much.
I could definitely
they
see
need all the defensive help they need.
It's just who's the best guy to them. You could look at an interior guy, but I think secondary still could take a bump with Terrell, or you could go and get Folk. And frankly, I don't think they double dip in the first round on secondary.
No.
Again, they still could go out, get a tackle. Who these guys have fallen real far, but the run on defense through this first round, I think Folk provides a lot of upside.
Folk needs to help them with their run defense. Their run defense is awful.
Yeah,
so Folk with helping them with that run game will definitely help them in the long run. And
he's young too, so this should be real helpful for them.
It works well with them, so
they take Folk.
Ooh, Steelers.
Steelers get a free pick on. I mean, for the most part, I have them looking at O-line.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You need to protect Rodgers at least for another year and then build that new O-line because, you're going to get those players that are going to retire at some point or be traded.
They do have Tyson's still there. I don't even think Tyson really would fit, though, because
No, Tyson would not fit the Pittsburgh style.
They would be more. I think it would look more towards someone in like the slot where you need because you have Metcalf and you have Pittman, who I think you feel good on the outsides.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
Rumblings that we have that I've heard, obviously Steelers' interior O-line has not been great for years, but
really,
what I've also heard is there's a strong potential the Steelers move on from Broderick Jones at left tackle, and they are also
Hmm.
potentially willing to move Troy Fautanu to left tackle. So they could go either left tackle or they could go either side. I mean, yeah, you're willing to move Fautanu to the left side just because he's shown the potential to, but I think Lomu doesn't. I don't think he requires the development you quite need at a left tackle. Like
No.
Fautanu needs to learn the position a little bit. Fano could play left tackle, but he's mostly played right tackle, opposite of Lomu, obviously. And there's also Caden Proctor, who again he's a little more raw. I think Lomu,
Very raw. Yeah.
I think you can plug and play Lomu at left tackle off the rip if you want to move on from Broderick Jones.
Yeah. I think that's a
So
good idea.
Caleb Lomu, uh, which makes
Chargers.
this makes this really easy to me. Um,
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at right
Chargers
now.
had a
Yeah.
miserable interior O line, and
Really.
obviously Basantis is down here. But reality, as I've mentioned a few times,
Yeah,
Fano's a
Fano
guy who can be moved inside, and he can play
easily.
anywhere. I think if the board falls like this and he falls to them, I think it's Fano
Easy.
at 22.
Fano here.
He's
a guy who can be versatile in anywhere. So they need one of those guys, especially with how bad that O line is. Justin Herbert's gonna die if he doesn't have anybody blocking. So let him go.
Yeah, now we get to the Eagles, who
Eagles.
always maneuver the draft really well.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I hate to say it, but I mean there's some solid pieces here. And they absolutely could take a tackle with their aging tackle and
Yeah.
Lane Johnson getting up there.
But yeah, Lane
in
Johnson's
age.
getting old.
So I mean, you could look at like a Caden Proctor. I mean,
You could.
he's more viewed as like a left tackle. But frankly, I see this only being Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
I see them
I mean-
taking a swing on Jordan Tyson and it working beautifully because I
Why
mean,
not?
because it's the Eagles and it's like somehow
Eagles
it's
will-
like
They'll pick up like the most random player and they end up being like the best thing that they've ever had. So
and then
Tyson going to them makes sense.
either they move on from AJ Brown or they don't move on. But now you have Jordan Tyson. So
Yeah, the addition of Jordan Tyson here. So
Browns.
okay, here are the Browns again.
We had them take was it Carnell Tate?
I think it was Tate here. Yeah. So
I think it's gotta be O line.
Line, yeah. That's what I'm looking at.
I think Caden Proctor here is
Proctor's right there.
a great
yeah,
pick for
I'd say
him.
take Proctor here. Yeah.
So Bears come on the board.
Oh, Bears.
Bears are a team that
Peter
I've been
Woods.
very interested to
Peter
see.
Woods.
I think Peter Woods is going to be
Peter
one of
Woods
the tape.
is-
Gotta improve the pass rush.
easily.
Um,
Bills. Like they need several different options here. I'm just curious to see which one they would ever choose.
they made such a big deal about receivers this last
They
year.
did though.
And
That's the thing. And
They did get DJ Moore, but is that
yeah.
is that enough?
Not really.
I don't think Edge
But,
needs
like-
to be a first round move because they went out and got Bradley Chubb. Cross that off. I think it's between Terrell and someone like Cooper. Maybe
Yeah, Cooper is there. Yeah.
maybe a Chris Bell or Denzel Boston, but
I liked Omar Cooper. I mean, granted, Indiana was really good all year, but just watching them specifically, Cooper was just a workhorse for Indiana. So I wouldn't mind him going to Buffalo.
49ers. Big question mark as to what's going on at tackle. With Trent
Yeah,
Williams.
quite a bit.
We don't
Uh,
big contract dispute there. We don't really know what's going on with him there. Looking at the board, this would surely be O line.
yeah, I'm liking the Miller option, but I wouldn't be opposed to like
Miller, I believe,
guard.
if I recall correctly, plays more like a left tackle. Which if they end up moving on from Trent Williams, which it seems like they're trying not to, but in the case, he's also getting up there in age.
He is.
I don't
He
hate
is.
I don't hate the Blake Miller move. So I could agree with you there on Blake Miller.
Yeah, but with the Texans though,
Gotta be
literally
O-line.
anything. Yeah,
Gotta.
it's literally anything O line.
I mean, it doesn't have to be based off of what we know about them.
No, but
if it's not,
they just need help. Like, cause what do they have here?
they made moves.
Yeah, because the guys that we just talked about.
They made moves to acquire O linemen. It's not O line, it's D line. Ian Achor could be really useful. I don't know how much they believe in Ursery. Braden Smith, I think, is solid. I don't know if unless you want to kick Ian Achor inside.
I mean,
I like more between Brignon and Besantis.
Yeah, I kind of like Besantis a little bit more in this situation.
I'll go Besantis. Chiefs again.
Kind of. Oh, here we go. So who did they get earlier? That was
We had them go. I think it was Delane. So they picked up a corner. So it's not going to be Terrell.
No.
Yeah, I think. I don't think they feel the need to double dip on defense. I think getting corner so early is an aggressive move, but I think now you have to address one of those top two needs in tackle or receiver. I don't think now is the time to get that receiver. Again, could they wait for a tackle? Sure, but I realistically think going and getting Ian Achor here makes the most sense for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
Dolphins at 30.
Just literally fill any options at this point.
We had them take
Jermod. That's all they need.
They took Jermod McCoy. Another team that went.
Yeah.
Warner. I think the only guy they can rationalize is one of these receivers. And I mean, again, this is way towards the end, and I think Bell or Boston could sneak in at the back end along with Concepcion. Yeah. But I think Concepcion has a lot of upside. He has an issue with how he catches the ball, which is like he catches it like an alligator, trying to catch its prey and just slaps his hands together at the ball.
But I think that can be retrained.
It can be coached. It's a concern of his hands, but if he can fix that, I don't know that Miami is the team to do it, but I'll side with the Concepcion. There's the upside there. I'll give it to him there. Patriots at 31.
I mean,
a lot of room to improve. Even though you just were in the Super Bowl. That's a weird thing to say, but like a lot of places they can grow.
With how this draft how the options look right now, I'm kind of leaning a little bit more receiver right now, unless
frankly,
you want to look at unless you want to look at edges, but I'm thinking like Boston or Bell here could really help. I don't know which one though. Unless you think someone else can.
Knowing the Patriots, I feel like this is a very Denzel Boston kind of pick. I could also, I think both fit very well, but something about, a Washington Denzel receiver screams so much more of a Mike Vrabel pick. So I'll side with Boston. And
okay. And we got the Seahawks last but not least. I mean, edge, running back.
I think Seahawks are the team most likely to trade out of the first round. If no one has at this point,
Yeah,
this is where someone trades up for
they
Ty
will.
Simpson.
Yeah.
That's my prediction now, but with no trades, could go get Avion Terrell to replace Reek Woolen leaving. Could
True.
shore up your D tackle. It's so many corners, so many defensive. It's such a stacked class.
Yeah, there's a stack class on defense, and that's why I'm kind of curious. I
Although
mean,
a lot of people have
depending on
thought-
who you value, what they want to replace on defense more. What do you think they need more?
I'm trying to view this interior D line and see if that is really a need. Because I feel like they're pretty well off there, but
Mhm.
I mean they're also so solid at corner too. I mean
They are.
you could bring in a third. I think that makes the most sense. I guess I could see Avion Terrell. I think that makes the most sense as far as need. I just don't see. It's hard because I don't see the Seahawks picking in the first round, but
No,
unless
but
it's a
like I
massive
said,
trade up.
we have tied our hands with this stuff. This is why we prefaced that in the beginning of this video.
Yeah.
So, it's unfortunate, but we did finish. We finished the first round. I mean, I'm satisfied for this interesting, very limited list. But we will definitely expand on it, especially when we add trades. And was it Will and I have done things in the past where we've done chaos mock drafts. We've done kind of like where we just spun the wheel and saw what we would get. We've done like a competition, I think, before. I'm not sure.
We did a
was like
versus. We did a versus last year,
versus.
which might get a little bit of a
so-
revamp this year. But I
Yeah,
do
really.
think we will bring that back as well as the chaos mock draft. And things that will split it up a little bit, where this is kind of just to familiarize ourselves with what the draft could look like in the first round before we get into the chaotic elements of the draft. So,
Oh yeah.
thank you for joining us on our first mock draft. It's stacked, and
something.
it makes it real tough to discern even like the top 10, like where some of these guys will go. 'Cause there's top 10 guys who like reasonably you could see falling to 23 in Jordan Tyson, but he could go at like number 5. So, who knows? I think this might be one of the most chaotic and I think what would make for one of the most entertaining off seasons, and we're just another step along the way. So,
Calm before the storm, my friend.
if you want to call it calm, but appreciate everyone for
Relatively
watching this
calm.
one, and we look forward to see you guys in the next chaotic video.